thanks to the supporters of channel member Liam Cooney. Apparently all we ever do is play Manchester City these days, but it's another final, another game against them. Let's go and win our first trophy of the season. Hello and welcome to Club 3, part 17 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have the Carabao Cup Final, the big one, against Manchester City, and then we'll probably do a Champions League knockout game, I think. I think that's the plan. Since you were last with me, we've played about half a season. We're not messing around. We know we're going to win the league. Look at that form. We're going to win the league. We're 11 points clear at the top of the table. We don't need to mess around showing you loads of Premier League matches. We also ended up doing very well in the Champions League, qualifying comfortably for the knockout rounds in that top 8 as well. And obviously still in the other cups as well. EFL Cup Final today, still in the FA Cup as well. So things all going very nicely. The January transfer window has been and gone. We didn't sign anybody. We did sell about £100 million worth of players though. Shea Lacey's gone to Real Madrid for £59 million. He was barely getting anywhere near the first team anymore after our most recent summer transfers, and we had so many homegrown at club players in the squad that he was on the verge of not getting into the Champions League squad because Team Rocket wasn't even getting in the Champions League squad despite being homegrown at club. We have so many, we didn't need to squeeze him in just for that reason. So he's gone to Arsenal for 36 million. And then we also sold another of our youngsters who's not really turned into what we hoped he would be. Alberto Silverware has gone to Leicester for £3 million. We also loaned Carlos Vieto out to Bayer Leverkusen for £750,000. He's the player who was going to sign for Coventry just as I was leaving, and we ended up bringing him here instead. And he's now in the middle of his third pretty useful loan. I don't know how you score 4 goals in 6 games and only average a 6.87. He must have scored 4 goals in one match. Did he score 4 goals in one match? No, he's spreading the goals around. He's just rubbish when he doesn't score, it seems, which is, in fact, that's for us. Let's try that again. No, he really is spreading the goals around. Absolute madness. Let's go and win a trophy though, and we are rotating a little bit because it's only the Carabao Cup, so you know it is Man City, so we've got to leave some good players in there, but we can rotate a bit. So it's going to be Canizares in goal, a back four of Maestri, Bordalas, Burrows and Gibbons, Mainu at the base of the midfield, Larson and Pilbro ahead of him, Strobel on the left, Muniz on the right, Van der Winden up front. It's a front three that we haven't used as of 3 very often. Van der Winden normally playing out wide on either side rather than up front, but he is officially, is he our backup striker? I guess he's not. We turned down £120 million from Real Madrid for him in January, but I guess Hendrick is our reserve striker. Van der Winden and Hendrick really can cover everywhere in the front three and do. They're both getting plenty of game time. Neither of them are sad at the amount of game time they're getting. The one player who has complained that he's not getting enough game time is Ireland, our best player, who, because of the amount of rotation we're doing in the league now, we were basically just using him in the Champions League and the big league games and playing Pilbro, as we're doing today, in the less important games. And I think we went a little bit too heavy with it and weren't actually playing Ireland enough. So Ireland's having a little run of league games now, which is why he's not involved today, because we can rotate him today, because I don't think the EFL Cup counts towards whether or not he's happy with the amount of game time he's getting. I think it is just Premier League. Even if he played every cup match and never played in the Premier League, I think he'd still be unhappy, despite the fact that would have him playing about half the matches. So I think we can get away with it today. So Pilbro gets another start, but next 4 or 5 league games, Ireland is going to have to start them consecutively, because the last thing we want is our captain to get a grumpy on. Strobel has picked up a little bit of a knock here. He's been arguably our best attacking player all season since coming in the summer. So we'll probably take him off at half time if he makes it that far to protect him. We've got plenty of wingers knocking around the place. Even with Shea Lacey moving on, we've still got Garnacho. We've still got Hendrick. We've still got Ilunga and Van der Winden pushing out wide. There's plenty of options up front. And Erling Haaland, after I think in the last episode, I said he wasn't scoring a ridiculous amount of goals anymore. That's like his 30th goal of the season. He is very much scoring a ridiculous amount of goals again, just like he always does. He's 33 now and still scoring an absolutely absurd amount of goals. And Man City have now made it up to second in the table as well after their slow start to the season. They are the team most likely to push us in the Premier League. I think they've given us too much of a head start. We'd have to collapse completely for them to have any chance of winning the Premier League. But of course, that doesn't necessarily matter, because if they find form in this second half of the season and start beating us in big knockout matches and finals, we could have a repeat of last year where we win the Premier League and yeah, we're happy, but we lose the Champions League. And we must win the Champions League this year. We want to win it all this year, Champions League and Club World Cup coming up at the end of the season as well. We want to win everything, which means we need to win this. And Van der Winden has just got us the equaliser. Good work from Maestri and Pilbara. Maestri not really establishing himself since his big money move back in the summer. Aketsi is probably still my first choice left back. So Maestri enjoying an opportunity to impress today. He is very much a winger who can play left back, and he looked like a winger there. And excellent work from Pilbara again. Strobel probably should have come off at half time, but he looks like he's having a little bit of recovery. We'll give him to the hour mark and then take him off. We'd like to be in the lead before we take off our best attacking player. We're actually going to be behind because they've scored through their winger. We're going to have to go attacking, and we haven't lost a game for ages. And Man City just are annoying. They beat us in big matches. Is this even a big match? We've rotated and they haven't. Does that mean it's a big match? I don't know that it does. Right, Garnacho's going to come on that left-hand side. We're not going to make loads of changes on the hour mark, but we are going to protect Strobel, just to make sure that we don't risk a proper injury to him with some big matches coming up. Muniz is going to come off as well. Endrick can come on for him, and we'll take off Larson and bring on Filieri in midfield. We'll swap those two over and let Filieri, who is more of an attacking midfielder, be the guy who pushes forward out of midfield. We're going to demand more again as soon as we can. We've done a lot of demanding today. It's a long time since we've been chasing a game. I guess we go very attacking in a minute, do we? It feels like forever. Let's demand more. Usually when we lose, it's late on in matches. It's very rare that we're chasing games at this point. Right, we are going to stick Filieri up. Actually, no, we're not. We're going to bring Della Torre on, and Endrick's going to go up front, and we'll do that. And then we will bring on Boras for Mainu and do that. And then you are going to do that. And then Filieri, I think we are going to push up in there to go a bit more attacking. And we'll do that. Come on, boys. Right, Boras is another of our 6'6" defenders, and he's straight on, and it's an immediate impact from Boras. He was on loan at Real Madrid for the first half of the season because he wasn't happy with the lack of opportunity. He has now returned and basically taken Team Rocket's spot as backup defensive midfielder and fourth choice centre-back, and there you go. He's done a football goal. We're going to leave things as they are. We'll just drop down to attacking from very attacking, but we'll leave Filieri in behind Endrick to let him have some fun in there and see if we can maybe grab ourselves a winner. It's Filieri with the free kick, and he's just won us the Carabao Cup. That's quite a moment for the youngster, because that is a huge pressure free kick, and he's scored an absolute screamer with it. What a goal. We need to make a tactical change, please. Right. Get him back in there. Get him back there. Filieri, still only 20 years old, has 16 caps and 6 goals for Belgium, but has barely played for us. But as he showed when he was at Genk, he's got goals in him. And goodness me, did we see there that he's got goals in him. Lovely free kick from him. The conveyor belt continues. And I think that should be our first trophy lift of the season. Where's my trophy? Here it is. My little Lego trophy, getting ready to lift it. I've got it in my little fingers, ready to go. Come on, boys, hurry up. What's all that handshaking? We've got the rest of an episode to film here. But we have... Oh, he's holding the trophy down at the bottom part of it. We're not holding it by the handles. Bit risky. But up we go. Do we? Do we? Come, lift the thing. Goodness me. Hey, there we go. Woo! I need to get some fireworks in here, don't I? Trophy. Done. 4 more to go this season. Well, despite finishing third in the Champions League stage, we got Bayern Munich in the first knockout round, who were top of Bundesliga. Luckily, we beat them 3-0 away from home. We drew against City in the league, also drew against Southampton in the league. Doesn't really matter because we're still 10 points clear of a game in hand, so we should be fine. But we now have the second leg of the Champions League round of 16 game against Bayern, and this is the team. It's Canizares in goal, a back four of Eketsi, Burrows, Memishi and Everton Antonio, Steve Larson and Ireland in midfield, Strobel on the left, Moniz on the right, Van der Winden up front. Ilunga's injured, if you're wondering where Ilunga is. He's been out for a little while with poorly leg, I think was the diagnosis. Yeah, shin splints, aka poorly leg. Endrick also injured. He's got pulled knee ligaments. So Van der Winden's actually getting a little run in the team at centre forward. I've played Moniz there a couple of times in the league with Della Torre out wide on the right-hand side, but he's now picked up a knock as well. So we go with Van der Winden. I mean, Van der Winden, like I say, we turned down 120 million from Real Madrid. He is a very, very good attacking player. I just don't know how much of an out-and-out striker he is. He's more useful coming in off that left-hand side, I think. But we did pretty well in the first leg in Germany, so as long as we don't balls things up here in this second leg, we should be cruising through to, is it the quarterfinal of the Champions League next? I don't understand how this competition works. It is also worth pointing out as well, Bayern Munich, managed by Marco Rose, who has been my FM24 nemesis, but we got the better of in that first leg. But there's always the opportunity with this stupid box midfield that he plays, that it just causes us all kinds of problems. In fact, he's not playing this stupid box midfield today, so I guess that's a positive. Maybe you should switch to the stupid box midfield and he'd have a little bit more joy. Ireland on the left-hand side, crosses, looking for Moniz. There's his header. There's his 12th goal of the season. It's 1-0 on the night, 4-0 on the aggregate. I've officially become an old man. It's the aggregate. The aggregate. On the aggregate. And that should be us through to the next round of this esteemed competition. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I tell you what, there's some big teams and Rangers at this stage of the tournament. You usually get a few little clubs sneak through. There's only really one in there. I guess Napoli, maybe. It depends what flavour of Napoli it is. I guess we've got a good flavour of Napoli at the moment, but it doesn't look like there's going to be any particularly easy route through to the final for us. Although, to be honest, the way we're handling Bayern, I think we're probably looking good against everyone other than the English teams. And by the English teams, I mean Manchester City. As long as we avoid them, we should be fine. And let's face it, just in terms of videos, I'd like to not play them every episode. You're probably as familiar with their team as you are with my team at the moment, which is, it's no way to live, boys and girls. We need Erling Haaland to retire. I'm a little bit confused. A man whose game is based so much around his physicality, still going strong at a goal a game at 33, 34 years old. How's that then? How's that working? Why is he not having any kind of decline just yet? It's not okay. Once he's done, I think we dominate everything forever. Ireland is in, and it's a good save from the Bayern goalkeeper. And of course, that does lead to us getting an opportunity from a corner. Strobel, the former Bayern man, goes far post. It's cleared off the line, falls to Steve. He can't turn it goalwards, and it's back with Larson and now Eketsi. So we do quite well to retain possession, and very nearly switching things up a little bit with the corner. Very nearly making an impact with the far post in-swinger, the lesser spotted far post in-swinger. I say lesser spotted in order to not abuse the corners. We do that just as often as we do the near post one. On the little frequency thing, they're both in the middle because we don't want to overuse the near post one. We're trying to make it so that Burrows is a threat from the set pieces, as he is again there, getting right up against the goalkeeper. But we don't want him scoring 20 or 30 goals and ruining realism. So we're having to manage it a little bit. But other than that, it was nice to see a little bit of variety from a corner. Memishi forward to Larson. Larson's just signed a 3-year contract extension as well, on big money. So at 29, we're committing to having him here for at least a couple more years, unless we get a big offer for him. And I mean, the way Pilbro and Filieri are both developing, we might end up looking to move him on in the summer or next season anyway. But look at that from Muniz, turning the Bayern players inside out. And there is Aketsi showing why he continues to be our first choice left back, despite throwing money around trying to find somebody better than him. He's done that on his weak foot from the edge of the area. It's a lovely finish. This was spectacular from Muniz, though. There's just no tackling him. And how they've managed to get that clear, 'twas impressive stuff. But it's now 5-0 on aggregate. And German football absolutely ruined. If this is the best they've got to offer, they may as well pack up and go home, which they're going to have to do after this because they're not going to be in the competition anymore. Aketsi out to Strobel. He's definitely made the right choice leaving Bayern and coming to us. And there's Strobel again, turning his former teammates inside and out. Muniz lays it off to Everton Antonio, and now my other fullback has hit the post from the edge of the area. We've got goals all over this team. What a bunch of players. Right, let's rest and rotate a little bit. Garnacho's going to come on the left wing. Ireland can come off for Pilbro. We'll take up... Van der Winden's not had a very good game. Filieri can come on up front. We've played him at centre-forward in a couple of matches. He's a natural attacking midfielder, accomplished at both striker and centre-mid. So, similar to Ilunga, it's not entirely clear just yet what his permanent position will end up being. He'll get plenty of time to play in all of them. And you know what? 5-0 up. Levi Burrows is going out onto the right wing. Because why not? Boras can come on at the back. We'll also take off Everton Antonio. Gibbons can come on for him. And we get 10 minutes of Levi Burrows playing as a right winger. 6'6" centre-back, who's also an accomplished right winger. It's my favourite thing. We did it a few times at Coventry. We've done it a few times in the EFL Cup. And I'm very proud to now be able to do it in a Champions League knockout game. 2-0 on the night. 5-0 on aggregate. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And in the next episode, we're fully focused on the Champions League now, unless we somehow balls up the Premier League. This is all Champions League all the time now. And fingers crossed, by the end of the next episode, would have booked our spot in the final. Wouldn't that be lovely? If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.